everyone, my name is Natalie. Welcome back to my book talk channel. Today, as you saw, the title is my August wrap up. I read 6 books in August. My plan was to read 10, but that wasn't possible. I had a lot of things going on, so I read 6 books. So the first book that I read was One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and this follows Emma and Jesse. Emma and Jesse get married. They're high school sweethearts. Then they move away to California. They have a beautiful life together, but one day Jesse is in a helicopter ride, has an accident, and he dies. Or his body's never found. So Emma moves back with her parents to their town, and there she struggles to get her life together. Finally, when she thinks she has it together, she has Sam, who was another childhood friend, and he proposes to her. He's her fiance. They're out to dinner one day, and then she gets a call, and it's from, guess who? Jesse, her dead husband, saying that he's coming back to town. So now she has to decide, who is she going to choose? Is it Sam? Is Sam her true love, or Jesse? So this is a beautiful story, very descriptive. I gave it a 4.75 stars. Very good book. The next book is One Italian Summer by Rebecca Cyril. Cyril, I don't know how to say that. So this follows Kathy. Kathy is mourning the loss of her mom. She was very close to her mom, and before her mom died, they decided that they were going to go on a trip to Italy, which was already pre-planned. But then her mom dies, so she decides to go on this trip by herself. So she goes to this trip, goes to this beautiful hotel, and then she meets this woman that she likes, a good friend, and then she finds out this is her mom, but a younger version. And she gets to know her mom, goes out with her, she shows her all the beautiful places she went to. But Kathy's struggling with a lot of emotions. She misses her mom greatly. They were very close. And then I don't want to say anything else. I don't want to spoil it, but it's very beautifully written, very descriptive. And I gave it 4 stars. One Italian Summer. This book follows Liz and Wes. Liz and Wes are childhood friends. They're neighbors. And Wes was always very mean to her. He was like a childhood enemy. And but then they grow up, they're teenagers in his senior year, and Liz wants to go to the prom, but she wants to go with someone special. So Michael comes back into town. He moved away. He's another childhood friend. He moves back into town, and Liz is like, she wants to go to the prom with him, but she doesn't know how to approach him. So Wes becomes very good friends with Michael. They were always good friends, but then once he came back to town, they reconnect. So then Liz recruits Wes to help her get Michael to ask her to the prom. And in the process, she gets to know Wes a little bit more, and he's not like she thought he was. He's like a nicer person. And I don't want to say much anymore, but it's a very cute story. It has a lot of quotes of different movies in each chapter. It begins with a quote of a different movie, which is very delightful. So, and I gave this a 4.25 stars. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. The next book, People We Meet on Vacation is by Emily Henry. This book follows Poppy and Alex. Poppy and Alex are very good friends. Every year they go on vacation together until one vacation they went together, something went sour. They stopped talking for a long time. And then Poppy is in a rut. She's a writer, and she decides one day to just contact him. She texted him and she said, why don't we go on another vacation and see if we could patch up things. And he's a little reluctant, but then he agrees because his brother's getting married. So he says it's a good opportunity to go together to this trip. So then they go together to the trip, and they start interacting more. And I don't want to give a lot, but at the end, I thought the reason why they stopped talking was something like big. So as you read the book and you're like, wow, it must have been, and then when you find out what it is, it was a, pardon my French, it was like stupidity. So I don't understand why, you know, I'm a reader, I'm reading this book and I'm thinking there's something big that happened between them, and it's like, it's really nonsense. So I gave this a 3.5. Wasn't my favorite Emily Henry book. The next book is When I Was You by Amber Garza. And this book follows Kelly Medina. Kelly Medina, she gets a call one day. Oh, your baby is due for a physical. He has to go, you know, the pediatrician office calls her. And then she says, what? My baby is in college. And then they say, oh, I'm sorry. There's another Kelly Medina and she has a baby. So then, okay, she says, no problem. She hangs up. But then this stays in her head. Like, she's like, who's this other Kelly Medina that has my name and has a baby in my town? So then she supposedly runs into her in front of the pediatrician's office, and then she starts sort of like interrogating her subtly, but doesn't give out who she is. So her name is Kelly Medina also. So then she befriends her and starts asking her out, starts helping her. And this book has a lot of plot twists, a lot of unexpected things that happen. The ending is like a huge turn that I didn't see coming. I gave this a 4.5 stars. It's very intriguing, mysterious. Secrets come out, and there's like turns, plot twists, which is a very good mystery thriller book. I enjoyed it very much. So I highly recommend this book. Sorry about that, my battery died, so I had to switch to my iPhone. So the next book that I read, this was the last one, Sea Glass Summer by Miranda Learson. And this follows Kit. Kit is a single mother. Her husband died in the military. So she is living with her parents and her son, Oliver. Her husband was very good friends with Alex. They were both in the military. But one day they called Carson into a mission and he died. Okay, so Kit was a disaster. She was all broken up, you know, she had a lot of struggles with the child. So then her two best friends, Jara and Hadley, were there for her. They're like sisters. They helped her with Oliver, like taking him to school, taking him to breakfast, and her parents too, like taking him to the baseball games. Carson left Kit a beach house. The house needs a lot of TLC. So her dreams is to fix the beach house so she could go back to school and offer her child a future. So she decides to move out of her parents' house. Meanwhile, Alex comes into the picture. Carson was his best friend, so he wants to help. But she says, no, you don't need to come. I don't need your help. But he goes anyway, and then he starts fixing up the house. She accepts his help in the long run, and she moves out of her parents' house. Alex becomes close to her. He becomes close to Oliver, helps him a lot with his games and everything. And this story was very emotional. Like, I connected emotionally with the characters. It was very well written. I gave it a 4.75 stars because I enjoyed it very much. And it's like you go through the motions with the characters, with Kit, Alex. So I highly recommend this book. And while I was reading this one day I went to Barnes & Noble just to look. I'm not buying books anymore for a while. And I found that there's another book that follows her friend Hadley and her fiance. So I think that book I should have read before this one, but I'm gonna try to get it and read it since I enjoyed this one very much. So that was my 6th book. Those were the 6 books that I read in August. And I'll see. Soon I'll put up my September TBR and some other things that I'm planning to do. So thank you very much for watching my channel, and subscribe. And if you have any book recommendations, please leave it in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching.